What's good, Skull Nation? It's your boy, hyped up and ready to dive into the latest Vikings trade rumors that got us all buzzing. You thought the quarterback drama was over? Think again. Kirk Cousins' name is back in the headlines, and it's stirring up some serious emotions. Is Minnesota really considering bringing back our old QB1? Let's unpack this ESPN report and see if there's any fire behind the smoke. Ready for the ride? Let's go. Picture this. It's December 8th, 2024, at US Bank Stadium. Kirk Cousins, now in a Falcons jersey, is chatting with Kevin O'Connell after a game. The vibes are nostalgic, but the rumors are fresh. ESPN's Dan Graziano and Seth Walder dropped a bombshell, suggesting the Vikings could trade for Cousins. Why? J.J. McCarthy's coming off a major knee injury, and some folks think Minnesota needs a safety net. But hold up. Didn't we just trade for Sam Howell to back up McCarthy? What's the deal here? So what's the fan base thinking? Are we hyped for a Cousins comeback? Or is this a step backward? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take. This rumor's got us all on edge, and we're just getting started with the details. Let's dive into Graziano's trade idea and see if it holds water for our Vikings. Dan Graziano's got a wild pitch. The Vikings send a 2026 fifth-round pick, a 2027 seventh-rounder, and some cash to Atlanta for Kirk Cousins. Plus, Minnesota would cover $10 million of Kirk's guaranteed money for 2025. Sounds tempting, right? Cousins knows O'Connell's system like the back of his hand, and he loved his time in Minnesota. But here's the catch: Kirk wants to start, and with McCarthy as QB1, he'd likely be QB2. Would he really sign off on that? Now, let's talk about J.J. McCarthy. Our rookie QB missed all of 2024 with that knee injury, but the Vikings are all in on him for 2025. He's been killing it in OTAs, drawing Justin Jefferson to practice for the first time in years, and Coach O'Connell's hyping him up as the future. So why mess with that by bringing in Cousins? Could this create drama in the locker room, with McCarthy looking over his shoulder? I'm not so sure this trade makes sense for us. What do you think, Vikings fans? Would you trade draft picks for a Cousins reunion? Or are we good with McCarthy and Howell? Hit the comments and let's keep this convo rolling. Next up, we've got another trade proposal that shakes things up even more. Stay tuned. Seth Walder's got a different spin. Trade Sam Howell and some cash to Atlanta for Cousins, with the Vikings paying $12 million of Kirk's guaranteed money. This one's intriguing because we keep our draft picks, and Atlanta gets a younger backup in Howell. But here's the rub. Didn't we just trade for Howell to be McCarthy's backup? Are we really ready to ditch him already? Cousins is an upgrade, no doubt, but at what cost? Let's break it down. Howell's only 24, with starting experience, and he's got potential to grow under O'Connell's coaching. Cousins, at 36, is a proven vet but wants to start, not sit. If he comes back, are we risking tension in the QB room? The Vikings seem locked in on McCarthy, who's been getting rave reviews from teammates like Cam Bynum, calling him different. So is Cousins worth the drama? I'm skeptical. Skull Nation, what's your vibe on this? Would you swap Howell for Cousins, or stick with our young guns? Drop your hot takes below. We're not done yet. Let's see why ESPN thinks this trade might be a no-go for Kirk himself. Here's the kicker. ESPN's own verdict says both trade proposals are dead on arrival for Cousins. Why? Kirk's got a no-trade clause and wants to start in 2025. Coming back to Minnesota would put him behind McCarthy, just like he's behind Penix in Atlanta. Same situation, different team. Cleveland or Pittsburgh, the other teams in the ESPN piece, make way more sense for Kirk to chase a starting gig. So why's this rumor even a thing? Let's talk about the bigger picture. The Vikings went 14-3 last season with Sam Darnold, and now they're gearing up for McCarthy to take the wheel. With weapons like Justin Jefferson and a beefed-up O-line, this team's built to win. Bringing in Cousins could mess with that chemistry, especially when we've got Howell and even undrafted rookie Max Brosmer as depth. Is it worth shaking things up for a backup who doesn't want to be one? What's the move, Vikings fans? Should we chase Kirk or trust our roster? Let me know in the comments. Next, let's look at what's driving these rumors and if there's any truth to them. So why's Cousins' name back in the mix? It's all about McCarthy's injury history. That meniscus tear kept him out all of 2024, and some analysts, like ESPN's Mike Clay, are worried he might struggle, projecting him to lead the NFL in interceptions in 2025. Ouch. That's got folks thinking we need a veteran like Cousins to steady the ship. But O'Connell's been crystal clear McCarthy's our guy, and the team's built around him. Meanwhile, in Atlanta, Cousins is skipping OTAs, fueling trade speculation. Posts on X say the Falcons want a hefty price for Kirk, and they're not budging on his $37.5 million guaranteed contract. If Minnesota's going to make a move, they'd need to eat a big chunk of that salary. With our $315 million roster spend this year, do we really want to shell out more for a backup? I'm not sold. Skull Nation, are these rumors legit or just off-season hype? Should we be worried about McCarthy's readiness? Hit the comments and let's debate. Let's shift gears and talk about what this means for our 2025 season. The 2025 schedule's out, and it's a gauntlet for McCarthy. 7 nationally televised games, including a primetime clash with Cousins Falcons in Week 2. Talk about drama. The NFL's putting JJ in the spotlight, and with tough opponents like the Lions on Christmas, he's got to prove he's ready. Bringing in Cousins could be a safety net, but it might also signal doubt in our QB1. What's the smarter play? Kevin O'Connell's earned his stripes as a QB whisperer, turning Darnold into a Pro Bowler last year. He's got the tools to make McCarthy shine, especially with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Mason, and a stacked O-line. But if McCarthy stumbles, the Cousins talk will only get louder. The Vikings front office, led by Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, has built a playoff-caliber roster. Do we really need to mess with that by chasing Kirk? Fans, what's your gut telling you? Is McCarthy ready for the spotlight, or should we hedge our bets with Cousins? Drop your thoughts below. We're almost at the end, but first, let's talk about the risks of this trade. Here's the downside. Bringing Cousins back could spark drama. He's a proven starter, and McCarthy's untested. If JJ throws a few picks early, fans might start chanting for Kirk. That's not the vibe we need in Minnesota. Plus, we'd be eating millions in salary and potentially losing Howell, who's got long-term potential. The Vikings traded for Howell for a reason. Why give up on him so soon? On the flip side, Cousins knows O'Connell's system inside and out. If McCarthy's not ready, Kirk could step in and keep us in the playoff hunt. But ESPN's right. Kirk's likely to veto any trade to Minnesota with his no-trade clause. He wants to start, and we can't offer that. So, are we just chasing a pipe dream here? I think we might be. What's your call, Skull Nation? Is Cousins worth the risk? Or are we good with McCarthy and Howell? Let me know in the comments. Let's wrap this up with where the Vikings go from here. Alright, let's put a bow on this. The Cousins rumors are spicy, but they feel like a distraction. The Vikings are all in on JJ McCarthy, and with O'Connell's coaching, a killer roster, and a hungry fan base, 2025 could be our year. Kirk's a legend in Minnesota, but his time here is done. Let's focus on our new era and trust the process. Skull. Baby. One last thing. New reports from Vikings.com confirm McCarthy's looking sharp in OTAs, with no lingering effects from his injury. That's huge. No new trade rumors have popped up on Vikings news to suggest Cousins is a serious target. So maybe this is all just ESPN stirring the pot. But if anything breaks, I'll be back to keep you posted. Stay locked in, Skull Nation. Yo, Vikings fans, what's the verdict? Are you Team McCarthy, Team Cousins, or somewhere in between? Smash that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for all the latest Vikings news. Share this with your fellow Skull brothers and sisters, and let's keep the purple pride alive. Skull Viking.